Hey everybody, today's a good day because it's new tool day. This is something I've been wanting to get for a while, and after my birthday just passed and with some support from the people that watch my videos, one person in particular as well, and you know who you are, thank you dude, I don't know what to say to you, but you're amazing. I have bought myself a plasma cutter. On to that in just a second. Something else I've done recently, if you're new to my channel, subscribe. I do all sorts of different things. I'm a motorcycle vlogger, but I also do a lot of metalwork stuff, and I do welding. I have just moved into the world of gas lenses for TIG welding, and I have to say, I love them. It makes things so much easier to see what you're doing. The flow of the gas seems better. I feel converted. Got my TIG stuff all organised now, so I've got all my gas lens stuff in different sizes. A gas lens, if you don't know, normally the gas in a TIG welder just comes down and out of here and then fills up a cup like this, and you pick a different cup depending on the work that you're doing. But a gas lens, it comes down and then there's this gauze, and it basically helps smooth the flow out. Just showing you that because it's made such a difference being organised. These little boxes with stuff like this are amazing. Nearly all my stuff is in boxes like this, right? Like this is, I've got all my fixings and my nuts and bolts and stuff like that. Then I have another one that's got all my rotary stuff, my Dremels. This is quite a cool Stanley box, which is like 2 parts. It locks together. So you can have that on the side and have access to all your bits and pieces, use them as you need to, chuck them all in there. Do that and it all goes away. Really like that. And these are new consumables for the plasma cutter, and I just hope I got the right ones. They were being sold with this plasma cutter, and I was like, well, I guess if people have regularly bought them, they must be the right ones. These are the ceramic shrouds. Oh, by the way, May, he's fine. Nigel is absolutely fine. My crutch has been deeply concerned for the safety of Nigel. He's been fine this whole time. Okay, so I got this off of Amazon for about 170 quid, I think it was. I'm not going to be asking this to be chopping like really, really thick material. I want it to do thin stuff because, well, you can imagine the sorts of things that I would use it for. So there we have the torch, and I imagine that I will be chopping that plastic off relatively soon. I'll explain why in a minute. So far it looks good because they match what I've got. Oh god, not another one of these. Whenever you buy some cheap machine, you get the exact same set of things. I bet you there's a plastic flat welding mask in here as well. I'll find out what's in there in a minute. Grounding lead, surprisingly thin flex. There it is. There it is. Dear God, I really hope no one actually ever tries to use that. It's made by this company. And it is a 50 amp model, and for most of the thin work I'll be doing, 25-30 amps seems to be perfectly adequate. So this will cut up to about 12 mil of pretty much any metal. Amp dial, don't know what that switch is for. This gives you a display of your current amps. Earthing lead, looks like a switch, and this is where the torch attaches. Problem, it's got some rubber nipple cover on it. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's because it's protecting, because it's a brass force cone fitting. Then on the back there's just a big power switch and your gas in. I was being stupid, of course it's got a switch, because it's got a button. Duh. Anyway, what I was saying about this plastic hosing, this protective plastic was the same stuff that came on my TIG welder, and it is horrendous. If you're trying to do something neat and tidy, this, even worse when it's cold, it kinks, it won't move, it's heavy, it's horrible. Most of the weight of this is that sheathing. So what I did was I purchased some welding hose covers like this. It's like a material, and it's so much nicer. And I should have enough left to do this one as well. But obviously I'll make sure the machine's working for a while before I do that. Quite simply, this is very much like a welder, but what it does is it creates an arc at the end of the gun, and then using gas pressure, and that's just air from an air compressor, it blasts that flame, as it were, of plasma into metal, and you can basically cut metal out like a super fine, powerful gas torch for cutting out pieces of metal. And it can leave you with a very, very nice edge that needs minimal work. And one little fact about that plasma is how hot it is. TIG welders run at around 6,000 Celsius. This gets up to about 25,000 Celsius. Of course, a TIG welder is made to melt the top material, to penetrate into it, and then to, you know, get it to join back together. This wants to heat the living hell out of it and then blast it out of the way. Okay, yeah, you might notice at the end of this is a bit burnt up. Yes, this is inserted because I'm just clearing up after recording the video and realised I never checked to see if the actual parts I ordered work with this. And there's also a few things I forgot to mention. One of the nice things about plasma cutting is practicing is basically free. It costs you electricity. Okay, that costs money. But it's not like paying for gas to practice like with TIG. I'd love to do more TIG practice, but it's so expensive buying the gas. I pay £40 for 14 litres. Talking of TIG, I've made some new TIG welded keychains. They're available on my Etsy store. New design. I thought it'd be interesting to see what they come out like. Right. Oh no. That'll teach me for not checking. Yeah, so they're what I need. Bugger. Because when that all goes in, it's all tight. See, when that's all in, it's all tight as it should be. These clearly can't be right. Hopefully I can return them. Okay, well, if I want you to like this video, I guess I've got to try it out. So I will do that. So I just need to go and pressurise my air compressor and get some power in here. I can't run 32 amp machines off of the electricity in the garage. It blows the fuse. So I have to run a power cord to inside into one of the rings which can handle 32 amps. Should be a regulator somewhere, so I'm guessing it's in here. Indeed it is. Right, so I'm going to need a piece of hose that's going to connect from there to there. And then a piece of hose to connect from poop. If I haven't explained what this bit is, it's a regulator that regulates the air pressure, because you have to get that right as well. I might be able to do this with bits I've got sat around here. One of the nice things about this is, unlike welding, if you have an air leak, it doesn't really matter too much, as long as you've got enough pressure, because all you're wasting is air. When it comes to like welding, you're paying for the gas. It's not a great fit, but it will do for testing. Okay. So look, when you wind that in, it gets to a point that it's going to start digging into this housing. I mean, maybe it's supposed to do that, but I don't like it. So my idea should work, I think. This is the way it's mounted in the manual, but it means you can't really see what you're doing. Okay, so what happens now? Oh, okay. Got a slight air leak on this side, but I'm kind of expecting that. It's not the right size. 60 to 70 psi. I put 65, lock that down. So the earth clamp goes in here, it's like a bayonet fitting. Like so. This comes off of here. Trying to wrestle this hose brings back memories of when I was trying to learn TIG, and so many of my problems were caused by me struggling to keep the torch still because of the massively heavy cord pulling on it. Okay, that's a cone fitting, so basically the pressure forces it together and gives you your gas sealing. Right, I've got a 1 gang extension lead and I have two machines that are going to run on 32 amps. So I'm going to prime up the air compressor, then plug this in, then do a couple of test cuts, and there'll be enough air in there for a few. Okay, this is 1mm steel plate, so it's something really, really easy for it. I'm not going to get a ton of slag being blown across the lands, so I'm going to try it on this. 25 amps is probably too much. I have discovered that the delay is how long the gas stays on for after you let go of the button. Not entirely sure why. Someone help me in the comments. By the way, never used a plasma cutter before in my entire life. I've seen them used, I've done research, I understand how they work and everything about them that way, but I haven't actually used one. So hopefully this will go fine. I've removed everything that's dear to me out of the garage, and anything else has been covered. I don't plan necessarily to use this indoors regularly, and you shouldn't if you're doing things like stainless and aluminium because of the gases that are given off. I am going to stick my respirator on. Unlike welding, where you know the shielding gas around the weld needs to stay there, so it's difficult to do outside, which is why you do arc welding. I've got a video on different types of welding if you want to know sort of like why you choose each time of welding. But anyway, the gas that sits there gets blown away with the wind. This isn't affected, so I can do this outside on a windy day. But what is like welding is you have to wear a welding mask or a grinding mask because it's very, very, very bright. Look at that. I think it's up too high. Maybe turn the gas down a little bit as well. Not sure. I'm going to have to learn this. But yeah, I'm loving this. Okay, I've reduced the gas a little bit and I'm doing it on 20 amps. I'm going to have to review the tape to see which way that the sparks are going, because they should be going slightly... It's down and away or down towards? I can't remember. It depends on if you're going fast enough or not. Okay, well, I've had a quick go with it. I know it definitely works. I also was a bit dumb and didn't think about this, which was that as I was cutting this box section, I didn't have enough air because I hadn't plugged, the air compressor's not plugged in, so it didn't recharge itself. So I was running out of air towards the end. And I also had it too low, but you can see at one point, it's a right old mess. That's cutting much cleaner. That's where it started blowing out. But yeah. Well, I guess on box section it makes it a lot harder because the air's blowing in and it's blowing back out. But on the plate, I was able to cut out shapes as I wished to. There's a little bit of sort of slag on the edge. This kind of breaks off, I think. Yeah, there you go. But you can see how you can make tiny little cuts, and you don't have to like start with a hole or anything. You just put it where you want it, put a hole through. And obviously with time, as I get neater and I find more comfortable ways of using the torch, even more controlled ways, I can do different things with this. And also this allows me to rough something out. There's some things that I do that because of the shape of them, roughing them out is really difficult. I can't get that close. So with this, I can get much closer to that line and then just grind my way in. But obviously with time, I'm going to get that line closer and closer to the point that I might even be able to be just a final sanding. Well, you know, filing maybe. Well, I will keep that as a memento as the first thing that I really plasma cut. Ah. This is by no means a review of this machine because I've never used it up until now. But in time I will make a review of it. As with all my reviews, I'll show you the machine. I've got this thing. In the future I'll tell you about it. But yeah, for less than £200 I'm very, very happy with that. Oh, I can get more of this off. The wire wheel wasn't taking it off, and I'm just getting a pair of pliers and it's all breaking off. There you go, it's even cleaner now. Hello. Anyway, if you found this video interesting or useful, hit the like button. If you're interested in this sort of stuff, hit the subscribe button. I do all sorts of videos. As I say, I am a motorcycle vlogger, I am a bike reviewer, I do metalwork stuff, I do a bit of everything. If it's something you want to see me do, let me know and I will consider doing it if I find it interesting. That's one of the things. I make the videos that I enjoy making. Huge thanks to my Patreon supporters who allow me to keep doing that. You know, it's not so easy in 2019, 2020 to continue doing this on YouTube. And I just want to say a huge thanks to the people on Patreon that have supported me up until now and will continue to do so in the future. I know to you, $1 a month might not seem a huge amount, but the gathered combined help of all of you has really made a difference from the beginning of this year when things weren't so great. So I'm very, very grateful to you all. Anyway, hope you all have a lovely Christmas. I don't know what sort of day this is going up. This might be at Christmas, after Christmas, I don't know. But if you're having a Christmas, have a nice Christmas. If you don't do Christmas, have a nice holiday. If you're not off on holiday and you're working, I'm sorry. I have been there in the past. I used to be a chef. I'm not anymore. Oh, and yes, I was trying to do a penis. If you enjoyed this video and the other content on the channel, please consider following the links in the description to show your support.